What's up, everyone? It's an episode of Am I the Asshole podcast. What number? 7?
Who cares? Nobody knows.
8?
Yeah.
It's something like that. A TBD episode.
Yeah.
Welcome back. As most of you have guessed already.
Yeah,
It's
sorry.
Tracey. Rich Craich is not in the house. Well, he's in my house right now, but he's not here recording.
Yeah.
We
Not
have
in my house that I know of, but
Tracy,
you know.
the second nurse, she's recording. He's not in your house. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Listen, I wouldn't put anything past Sir Rich.
What if he showed up in your recording and he's like, "What's up, ladies?"
And he just like fucked around with the keys for a second. I was like, actually, this is gonna sound way better if you like increase this. And I'm just like,
increase this. We're gonna drop these levels.
Yeah.
I actually couldn't deal with the way you sounded last time, so I'm here to fix it.
I actually have hated every recording you've ever done for the last year. So I need you to be better or get out of here.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
I know.
We
pal.
can't be a high production quality content like Voices of Wrestling, but
I mean, my current setup is
we're way hotter, so it's fine.
My current setup is in my basement, and my computer is sitting on top of my daughter's like climbing blocks that you would see at like a gymnastics place. So it's not so it's not like high tech by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. Rich has a podcast studio.
Yeah, not me.
I have my office, which if we ever have a child, I lose.
Yeah. And then it just becomes what I have, which is some random area in your house that you have to go to after dark
under the cloak of darkness to record a podcast.
And silence, and it has to be quiet.
Whatever.
I know,
we're doing good. Again, like I said, I think we're hotter than the whole crew of Voices of Wrestling, so we're doing fine.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, listen, I'm saying this as a person who doesn't know anything, doesn't listen to, doesn't participate in wrestling in any way, shape, or form. But I can't imagine that people are much hotter than us, right?
I mean, well, we're top tier, so perhaps not.
People are gonna look at us. They're gonna be like, "Hold on, I gotta see this."
Like, okay, you guys were like fine 6s or 7s, but like, calm down. Yeah.
Also, like me with makeup on, like this is actually my honest answer. Me with makeup on, I think I'm like a solid 8. Like I really think that like I do make up fucking tits, and like
you are tits at makeup.
I am, and I look awesome. Whatever. Me without makeup, like straight out of bed in the morning, like I think I look like Gollum who ate Peter Pan. Like that.
Why eat Peter Pan?
I don't know. I've always described myself as Peter Pan because I feel like I look like a little boy when I have no makeup on.
Well, I don't really wear makeup on the day-to-day basis, so I just say Gollum.
So you're a straight 6 Gollum. Gollum going to prom.
I'm not really like a Gollum. I think I'm more of like a forest troll, maybe.
Sure, like a little nymph.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Something.
But like
I'm small,
an evil one. Like I would.
Right.
You're not like you know like Jasenia, the cute fairy nymph. You're like Turble.
I'm like the one that's like ragey.
Yeah. You're not in any sort of smut. Like you're not into like fairy smut. You're not the fairy that's in fairy smut. You're like the creature that comes out of the Black Lagoon in the fairy smut that's like, listen, I'm awesome and I have great magic, but I'm fucking crazy. Anyway,
also, do you guys have snacks? Because I'm a little chonky too.
I haven't eaten in fucking 172 years. I'm starving.
I love a good trail mix.
Yeah.
Whatever you
protein.
Whatever you granola girls brought out to this trail, Uncrustables, give it to me. What is this bit?
I have no idea how we got here, but we must rein it back in.
Cut all of this, but here we go.
Please don't.
This is Am I the Asshole podcast.
Not a fairy smut.
This is not very smut. If you came here for that, we led you on. We led you on.
Could turn you into that in 10 seconds. Easy.
You thought you were coming here for the right reasons. They were all the wrong reasons.
What if our Reddit things today were like, so I started reading fairy smut and it was like, that's all that we actually
Am I the asshole? I started reading fairy smut and got pissed. My girlfriend didn't have wings.
Am I the asshole for sewing wings onto my boyfriend while he slept because I wanted him to be Rowan from whatever?
I think before we do that, I need to learn more about the fairy smut like community. I don't think I'm like
Oh,
well versed.
The fairy smut community are my people. Like,
You
absolutely.
know about this?
Absolutely. Oh, I read fairy smut for
Oh
sure.
no, I thought you were making this up. I
No,
thought
no.
this was made up.
Absolutely not. No, I could probably start naming characters if you'd like me to.
No, it's okay. I think you did already.
I did one, actually.
Oh, all right. Well, this is a adventure. I'm gonna have to take it a later date.
All right. Do you have? Are you drinking anything? Are you doing
I'm
anything?
drinking water out of my Stanley because I drank zero water today.
Well,
But
that's not a Stanley. That is a Caribou coffee mug.
I tell my husband it's my fake Stanley. I say,
Okay.
"Can you fill up my fake Stanley, please?"
Is that the one we got on our adventure?
Yeah.
Wow. Looks really nice.
It looks like a Stanley. If you didn't see this, you'd think it was.
I know, but who's it made by? What does it say on the bottom? Is it Yeti?
Made in China.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just generic. It just says like Caribou coffee.
Oh, that's cool. So Caribou has their own. So for anybody listening out there who has never been to a Caribou coffee, Michelle and I didn't really know that. So Michelle and I just recently went on a trip to go get some tattoos in Nebraska, which for 19 and a half hours was awesome. And then the rest of it was trash. But we went there and Michelle and I don't think I knew this about you before.
Oh, no, I think I learned that about you in that moment.
I think we learned this in the moment that we both have a
love.
I don't even know that we can call it love. It's like a connection in our soul for Caribou coffee.
Yes.
They used to have them where we live and they got rid of them all for some unhinged reason.
Dunkin' Donuts, unhinged.
It's fucking Dunkin', which like
trash.
Not for me. Like I will get it, but it's not for me.
I won't get it. I'd
rather
drink gas station coffee over Dunkin'.
100, absolutely. Like a good Casey's coffee.
Absolutely. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So we were on this trip and we're driving and we had to get off just to like get some gas. And
we said, let's look for a Starbucks.
Let's look for something like real quick. We thought we found one.
I said Starbucks because I'm in Chicago. That's all we got other than Dunkin' Donuts.
In Iowa. And so we were like deep boop bop looking around, trying to find some place to get some coffee. And Michelle happened to look on her GPS to see like where one would be close by. And we saw a Caribou. And when I tell you, I actually started crying with excitement.
You whipped that car into a U-turn quicker than I've ever seen anybody turn.
Truly. I was like, we're fucking going and I don't care. And then we did. And then for the 6-minute drive that it took us to get there, we were both like holding hands and going like, do you think it's really there?
And I had to talk Tracey off the ledge. I was like, bro, what if it's not real?
What if it's not there?
What if it's
gonna be
closed?
Okay? What if it's like a Dunkin'?
Manage your expectations. I just wanted you to manage your expectations because we were so high. I was worried about our fall.
100%. It was going to be, I like genuinely was like, I think I'll probably just turn the car around. I think we'll just go home because this will be the worst thing that could happen.
And I was like,
spoiler alert, wasn't the worst thing that could have happened.
Is bad. Calm down. Yeah. But then we got there. I was like,
and we ran into Caribou Coffee and then purchased merch from Caribou Coffee.
We were like going through
$80 in Caribou Coffee.
2 cups.
And then we took a picture outside of Caribou Coffee with Caribou Coffee in the background as if it was a celebrity. Like, what were we thinking?
Like we were for the Hollywood Hills sign. Like
it was unreal. It was really funny. But anyway,
I have this fake looking. It looks like a Stanley, but it just says Caribou Coffee on it. Mm-hmm. Keeps ice cold as long as a Stanley would. So I call it my fake Stanley.
Nice. Well, it looks good. It's good color. A nice steely gray, kind of blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got a nice little Cabernet sitting next to me.
No, I already drank 2 glasses of cab like an hour ago, so I'm good.
Oh, okay, good. Well, this is my first, so we'll be on the same ballpark in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. All right, I have like 2 pretty decent, pretty good. Okay. What do you?
Oh God, what?
You want to start off with tattoos or dick pics?
Tattoos.
Okay, great. All right, so this was sent in by Waffles on Air to the Voice of Wrestling Discord.
Oh, sick. Okay. So this is like a listener, like somebody who's listened to this?
Both of these are. The other one was sent by like multiple people, but this one specifically was Rich said this Waffles on Air person frequently sends some content. So
nice. Well, thanks, Waffles on Air.
Yeah. What we do, we go through, rate the title. Am I the asshole? Yes or no, based on the title. Read through, then make final judgments. Am I the asshole for assuming my wife is cheating on me because of a tattoo? Just because of a tattoo.
Am I the asshole for assuming?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
I would say immediate response is yes. Immediate response is if you're assuming that your wife's cheating on you because of a tattoo, yes. But as always,
continue.
I need a little bit more.
All right. 29 male, recently have been feeling suspicious due to a recent.
I already am mad that he's 29 and I don't know why. I already am like,
you just hate young men.
Like all of a sudden, I was just like, and is he white too? Like,
ew.
Says the white woman. I'm such a prick.
Ew, is he white too?
Yeah. Is he a white 29-year-old guy who's mad at his girlfriend for getting a tattoo? Okay, anyway, sorry. Let's give this guy a chance.
You didn't mean it when you said it. You tried so hard to sound
fine. I hope everybody felt the sincerity.
Let's give him a chance.
Let's give him a fucking chance, whatever.
All right. So 29 male recently. All the listeners from Boys of Wrestling are going, when is Rich going to be back on? We need a little white man's respect on here.
Yeah. Sorry. Clear. I don't
fucking broads.
I don't hate all white men.
I married one, okay?
I also just whispered into the microphone. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway.
29-year-old male. Go ahead.
He's, to be fair, my husband was probably a fucking asshole when he was 29 too.
Yeah.
I was married to him already, but you know.
I don't think he was. I think Rich has been nice his whole life, as is my husband. I think they have been kind, generous, wonderful men for their whole life. Yeah.
All right. 29 male, recently feeling suspicious due to a recent comment of a colleague of mine made about my wife, 28 female. For context, this colleague, who I will call Matt, has known my wife for over 2 years. I introduced Matt to my wife back at a work-related event, and he also brought along his now ex-girlfriend. We hit it off as a group and frequently went out on double dates. At that time, there was nothing to be suspicious of. It was all purely platonic friendships. However, a week ago, Matt was talking about his interest in getting a ribcage tattoo and proceeded to state what the pain level was like. How did your wife find her tattoo? Now, for context, my wife only has one tattoo located under her breast. It's something that's in a highly intimate place for him to know, as I myself only found out about this tattoo when my wife and I began getting intimate ourselves. After hearing my comments, it made me question my whole relationship. My wife has been somewhat... This is where it devolves. My wife has been somewhat distant when it comes to the bedroom recently, and often she is, quote, too tired or stressed to do anything together. We used to have an active sex life and had sex 4 times a week. This has been going on for 3 months now, and I have especially noticed after Matt's comment. I find myself feeling dissatisfied and fantasizing about other women, especially the younger ones, at work. I feel awful whenever this happens. But honestly, I can't control my thoughts.
Oh my God, you can't. Sorry, Okay, go ahead.
I'm surprised it took you this long. After being emotionally and sexually neglected.
Oh my God.
For 3 months.
Oh my God.
This has gotten so bad. I'm considering an open relationship with my wife.
Okay.
As I don't want to lose her. Honestly.
Oh, really?
I'm super stressed about this because I don't want my marriage to fail. And I don't want to assume wrongly of my wife. Should I confront her?
Weird. Okay.
Okay.
So
we go from...
Hold on. No. First, I have to start. I want to let you know This is a direct to you, though. You said a plutonic relationship and not platonic. And I just want to remind you what plutonium is and what plutonic means.
I said what I said.
and I wanted to stop you, but I really wanted, you were in a good rhythm. So I just want to make sure that we correct that this isn't a like solidification of magma relationship. They were just in a friendship. Magma. But so starting there,
so platonic.
Okay, can you, because my rage filled into my eyes and I couldn't hear anymore.
You stopped saying it. You dissociated, but
no, can you remind me, what was the comment that this Matt guy said that made him believe he'd seen this breast tattoo?
So Matt said, oh, I'm like thinking about getting a ribcage tattoo. What do you think like the pain is like in that? He basically was like, oh, what do you think the pain's like in that spot? Like, what'd your wife think of her tattoo? So basically is what he said.
So just
quote, what is the pain level like? How did your wife find her tattoo? End quote.
Okay. So like, and this is a work colleague of.
So work colleague of his, but it sounds like 2 years ago, the work colleague, his ex-girlfriend, the wife, and this guy all hung out and then started hanging out after that. So like
this is
the
so
four
easy.
of them have hung out.
At some point, the ex-girlfriend and her were in the bathroom together.
And they're like, oh my God,
he was like, oh my God, I think I'm going to get a tattoo. And she's like, look at my tit. This is where I got it, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then Becky or whatever went home with Matt and was like, oh my God,
she's got a tattoo
on her boob. And then he remembered that. And that's it. And
he's like, oh, that's literally what happened too.
That's exactly what happened. 100%. I want Becky to write in and let us know that that's what happened.
Or Matt at some point was talking about getting a tattoo. It was like, I really want to get a tattoo. And she's like, oh, I have one under my boob. Yeah.
And that's it. And it's like, and that's it.
He's like, oh, wait. I wonder if that hurt.
Think is really happening is that this guy
wants to cheat on her so fucking bad.
He
wants to pass.
He wants to feel validated for having these quote unquote terrible feelings, and he wants everybody to be like, it's okay that you're feeling this way, you're a man,
she already cheated on you anyway.
Correct, you might as well do it. And then afterwards when she's like, I didn't cheat on you, he's gonna be like, how would I have known that? You were acting blah blah blah. And let me just say something to all the men out there. If your partner has slowed down on the sex game with you, look inward. Look at yourself.
It's been 3 months.
Yeah,
I could have been tired for 3 months.
Well, and also, like, this isn't. We are not. Oh God, I don't want to get on my feminism box because I don't want all the listeners to go away. But we are not like. That's not what relationships are only founded on. Now, I am a big believer that like sex is an important part of a relationship. Like that is true. You can't just like. You can't say like, hey. Well, actually, that's not true. That's true for me. There are people who are in asexual relationships. There are people who are, one person is more sexual than the other, and like times change.
So I will admit, if it's 4 times a week and then slows down dramatically, that's a big change. But all you got to do is be like, hey, there's been a big change. What's going on with that?
And that's fine. But also if she's like, I'm really tired, maybe
then you go,
or maybe you say, okay, I'm interested. Like, is there something that I'm not doing in our life that like is causing this? Like, I really want to make sure that like we're both on the same page. And I think that's the part about this that sounds so shitty, is that he's like, I really want to make our relationship work, but I have these needs. And if I don't get them met, then I'm going to go fuck a receptionist. And it's just like, then go fuck a receptionist and leave this girl just alone. Just like, you know, be
but
cool.
Also,
like,
don't say, I don't want my marriage to fail. I want to try everything. Like an open relationship.
That's
like
crazy. That's crazy.
That's the first. Like that's your plan A.
Plan A
that's
is
your plan A.
Have an open marriage with a woman who's just like probably having a small bout of like a challenge in her life and like maybe being overwhelmed and stressed and whatever. Like, I don't know. And maybe I'm
something at work and it
could be anything. It could be anything. It could be hormonal changes as she's getting older. She could be getting close to 30 and she's starting to panic about that. So like these things are all true. And I just think that the fact that he's like, listen, there's some hotties at work and I'm not getting dick as much as I
open
used to.
relationship.
So I'm going to go fuck around. And then I'm going to say to her, well, I love you and I still want to be with you, but I want to be in an open relationship. That's a shitty person. That's a bad dude.
Yeah.
So yes, I think he's the asshole.
And I'm not going to talk shit. I think there's people that are in open relationships that works for them. Fine.
That is something that you say.
But I also
don't
know that you start a relationship and you stay in this relationship for years. And then you go, oh, sorry, wife. So married.
Right.
Like, and then you're like, oh, let's pivot.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if that's not what it was going into it, that's a hard pivot.
And again, I think that, yes, is somebody going to maybe come forward and be like, well, actually, I started my marriage in a monogamous relationship and then we both decided we wanted to open and it's worked out great for us. Absolutely. That is very true. There is some couple out there that does that. On the whole, in my experience of who I have talked to, that is not how the majority of people feel.
Right.
Based on my experience only. And so like, I
also think, not when one person's going, there's some hotties at work.
Right. If he was just like, I've tried everything. I've talked to her. I've called a therapist. I've tried to talk to her friends. I have changed my routines. I've done this, but he hasn't done anything other than be angry and then go on Reddit looking for someone to give him an okay green light.
He's also just like, how does Matt know about my fucking wife's tattoo?
Ask him. Say, hey Matt, how do you know about her tattoo? I'm confused. It's in a really expensive spot.
Not her.
Right.
He's gonna be like, oh, fucking Bethany told me they were drunk at the bar. She showed her.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Okay, cool.
Don't you remember when we were in New Orleans and she flashed her tits? Oh, you don't because you were like blackout drunk. Oh, okay, cool. Well, she did. So 97,000 other people saw them too.
So not as intimate as you thought, bro.
Yeah. Also, like I have 7 or 8 tattoos and I talk about them all the time. They're not in any like personal places, but like I talk about them with everybody, man, female, so like people talk.
I was gonna say I have a tattoo on my back that like wouldn't be visible, especially to anybody who's never seen me in a bathing suit.
Yeah,
but I've like showed people at work before and been like, oh, this is my tattoo, and like pulled the back of my shirt up.
Yeah.
And
what's this guy's name? Was he anonymous?
Yeah, he doesn't say it. He's just calling Matt out, but that's all.
I bet his name is Josh. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Josh. Yeah.
I was gonna say Trevor, but
wow, Trevor's
fucking Trevor.
Trevor's saying he's got money though, which could be because that's a fair thing. Yeah, I'd say
the comment that struck me.
Okay, let's hear it.
So this is when I say it devolves, right? I find myself feeling dissatisfied and fantasizing about the other women, especially the younger ones at work.
That's creepy.
Also, you're 29. What are the younger ones?
like you're a tiny little baby. So what are
the young one?
Yeah, because are you like do we now have to call the cops on this guy and like
okay, so my favorite comment was, wow, hope he's not a teacher.
Oh my God. Nightmare.
So anyway, my thoughts exactly, especially when you talked about the younger women. Like, what?
Yeah, that's super weird.
Because like when you're typing this out and you're like, especially those young ones, hot, am I right? Like,
yeah. Don't you self-edit a little bit? Like I do this thing where if I'm really
not go back and like read that and been like, ooh, that one sounds weird.
Yeah, delete. Like when I'm really mad at someone, I will type out like the meanest fucking message in my notes app and just like write them something like, you're a dumb cunt and da-da-da. And I write like the meanest stuff that I can think of, mostly so that my brain can like calm down. And then I go, well, that's fucking crazy. I can't write that. And I delete the whole thing. And then I go like, what am I actually feeling? What is my actual purpose of this? And then I write it again 1 or 2 more times to make sure that I like, I don't know, sound like a normal human. And this guy just sounds like he went on there and was like, my dick gets hard every time I see Jessica walk down the fucking aisle. And if I can't get my dick in her soon, I'm going to lose my mind. So Matt one time told me about a chest tattoo and I think he's fucking my wife. Do I have game to go fuck Jessica? And it's like, no, you don't. No, that's crazy.
He's considering bringing up in bold, an open relationship before actually talking to his wife.
Yeah, that's wild.
It reads like he's finding excuses to make her the bad guy so he can fuck other people. That's exactly how I read it too.
Me too. So yes, asshole.
This is everyone's just like, you're just trying to fuck other people. Everyone agrees.
Do we ever get like a follow-up on any of these?
Yeah, remember the last one? He took her back to the tattoo parlor and they had an update on it.
Oh yeah.
You can find the update sometimes.
I wish you could like save it and it would like
sometimes it does. But a lot of these people, when they get fucking grilled like this, they're not gonna come back with their update.
Sure. He deleted the Reddit app immediately.
Yeah. A lot of people, if they come back with an update, it's like they're not the asshole, and then they'll be like, all right, so I went back and I did this, and this is what happened. Usually when people are overwhelmingly the asshole, they don't give you the updates. I could sometimes, if you go to their
like profile or something, you can see
profile, yeah, but this one, he actually doesn't even have any.
He was just like an anonymous writer, just like went in one time.
Well, so if you go to their like actual profile, you can see all the comments that they also like. That's a good way to find how, if through the comment thread, if they respond to people's comments.
Mm-hmm.
Like if people ask a question, they'll like respond. So if you go to their profile, you can see all the comments that they've made. And this guy doesn't have any comments other than the main post.
All right.
So he doesn't care. Everybody reamed into him and he was like, you're right. I just want to fuck Jessica.
Like, this is the podcast.
He's actually busy. He hasn't responded because he's fucking Jessica.
And Jessica now has syphilis. This is a podcast where I feel like you should have sound effects, dude, because like you want sound effects so bad, and you could like absolutely have like or we could take the gavel from work and just like,
oh, we need the gavel.
We'll get that. We'll grab that. We'll get the gavel and we'll fucking gavel whenever we come to a decision, and then that's final.
That'd be great. That'd be good.
Okay.
All right, you ready for some dick pics?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no, please God, no. I'm so glad I'm over that stage of my life. I can't believe how many dick pics I've received in my life.
It's unsolicited sometimes. You're like, yeah, I think you need to ask.
Yeah, well, those are the ones that I mean. Like, listen, I'm open for dick pics for people,
but not for dick
from the person that I love and like I'm in a committed relationship with. That's fine. But like unsolicited dick pics, like on a Plenty of Fish website, like that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's nuts. So
do you think it's worse if it's a rando from Plenty of Fish, or if it's somebody that you have their number saved in your phone?
Somebody that you have their number saved in your phone. I think it's worse. Yeah, that's a random one. You can just be like, they got that off the internet. It doesn't matter. Like, who cares? And you're
the
just
one from your phone. You're like, bro.
Well, and especially if you've like maybe been near it, maybe you haven't seen it yet, maybe you haven't touched it or done anything with it, but like you've been near it in like the vicinity of it, and then you see it and you're like, what? I mean, you could just be devastatingly disappointed, and then that's over, and then you're done.
Not coming back now.
Yeah, and also
now
I think I don't know. I actually be curious.
I've been near it.
You're in the vicinity of said dick. Do you think most men look at their dicks and go like, fuck yeah, like this is amazing? Or do you think most of them are like, damn, I wish it was different?
No, that's hard.
Yeah.
I think
sorry.
I think I've heard both, probably. Like I feel like I've heard a lot of like people openly talking about, I feel like most of the people you hear openly talking about their dicks have a sense of self-confidence and probably think the first.
Yeah. Like, wow, look at me.
Because I think if you have the confidence to just freely talk about this in public in front of like women or people that like aren't going to be fucking you, like, you probably do think like that. Okay,
can I ask you a personal question? And we can cut this out if you want. We can even give it a few seconds. I don't know where we're at. I think we're about 30 minutes in. But like, would you rather look at a dick or a vagina? Or a vulva, I should say. Like, which one do you think is more like aesthetically pleasing?
See, I think it maybe depends on the day. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Like I'd
Like
say
the person.
it depends
I
on the
don't know.
person. I'd probably say like, ooh, I feel like I'm setting myself up to get dick pics now. But
Yeah.
I'd probably say like if it's like if it's a nice looking dick, probably a dick. But if it's
Yeah.
like most dicks are not nice looking,
Right.
you know? And so like then I would say a vulva. Like I feel like you can
Yeah.
draw a picture of a vulva and it's like, wow, that's a really beautiful painting. But I don't think you
Yeah.
could
Like an
do the
abstract
same.
art,
Yeah.
definitely vagina.
Yeah. But like I don't think you could do the same with a dick. I feel like you just be like, that's just a dick.
Well, it's too many straight lines theoretically, right? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't have flow.
It doesn't it has a lot of flow. Okay, we're getting off track here. Tell me about this dick pic.
All
Actually, we're
right.
right on track, but go ahead.
We're on track. Yeah, no, I think it depends on the person. I'm gonna have to go case by case on that, I
Case by
think.
case, day by day,
I think that's fair.
dick by vulva. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, all right. Am I the asshole for deleting dick pics from my girlfriend's phone without her consent?
So, what? Um, what? No, no, because I'm
You said
assuming they are his. I am hoping they are his. Um, so I'm gonna say no. You're not
because
the
you think
asshole,
okay.
but I'm curious to know more because now I'm worried.
So you're saying not the asshole.
I think that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I gotta sneeze. Oh god, no, I can't. Sorry.
Wait, can I tell you something funny? My daughter, she's 2, and I tried to teach her to sneeze and like cover her mouth with her hand when she does it. And so what she does is she'll go, achoo. And then she'll put her hand over her mouth and go, achoo.
And
Just
you're
say
like,
it.
A for effort.
So she actually sneezes with her mouth just wide open. And
Yeah.
then 4
And then
seconds
she's like,
later goes,
oh,
oh, my apologies. Achoo.
my apologies. I was supposed to do this.
Yeah.
Well, at least she's trying.
She's funny. Anyway,
I mean, her coordination isn't there yet. Once she
no,
realizes
no.
when a sneeze is actually coming.
Absolutely.
All right. I, 39 male, have been dating my girlfriend, 40 female, for 14 months.
Okay. Uh-oh.
6 months into our relationship. All right. So about halfway through, because 14 months isn't that long. I
No,
guess
it's
if
a
you're
year.
39 or 40, it's kind of long, but 6 months in, I don't know.
Okay.
We got pregnant and now we're expecting a baby boy in 6 weeks.
Oh, congratulations to them.
About 3 months ago, she was scrolling through some photos with me on her phone, looking for a few old pictures. We were having fun talking about moments in her past. Eventually, the camera roll got to a large handful of dick pics from several ex-boyfriends / hookups, followed by several graphic close-up photos of her bits.
Oh, my.
I told her that it made me uncomfortable, and I questioned why she not only thought it was okay to save the pictures of her ex-flings, but why she'd save those pictures of herself if she didn't think she might want to use / send them to others in the future. Her response was that any woman with a long and full history of sexual partners, unlike me, who was in a 17-year relationship before, has those kind of pictures, and that she has never even thought twice or noticed that they were saved. I asked if she could delete these, and she responded with a nonchalant, sure, okay. A few weeks later, I saw they were still there. I've developed some insecurities that I hadn't really thought I had before. I had her phone password, so I went in and I deleted the pics of her ex-guys, but not her own pictures. She confronted me a few weeks later and asked if I went in her phone, and I told her I did. Then I mentioned the only way that she could have known was if she saw the dick pics from several years ago were no longer there. And she responded by saying she never looked at the photos, that they were just there from the past, but she still noticed that they were gone. So is he the asshole for going in and deleting them?
I feel like, oh man, I don't know.
I'm going to give her a pass on having photos of herself,
old stuff, and I'm going to give her a pass on having stuff from years ago. I'm going to give her a pass on having so like if some of the dudes were shitty to you and they have like shitty dicks. And you're like, I'm going to save these dick pics so that in case like I ever see them being shitty to someone else or they ever try to get back in contact with me, I will just send them their dick pic and be like, I still have this, you dumb idiot. I think that's funny. I don't know that I agree with her that every woman in her like late 30s, early 40s has a ton of dicks on their phone from past relationships. Like, I don't know. I can't say that. I'm not, because I'm not in that situation. I would be surprised to know that.
I do feel like it's different. It sounds like he was married or something. He was in a 17-year relationship. It's probably through most of his 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
And then that ended, and now he's with this new person.
Yeah.
Versus maybe she was
just not in that and just single and like, yeah. But like
whatever.
I think it's totally fair. I agree with you. Like, absolutely keep pictures of your tits and you're like how hot you were and how hot you are. And like,
I can see even now if she's like, I'm pregnant now, I want to see my boobs from before I was pregnant.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Keep that. I think that if someone, so I think what he should have done was he should have been like, hey, this is silly. I don't know why. I feel super insecure about that. The pictures of you are hot. Do you mind just deleting those dick pics for me? And then he should have just believed her. And it's also her prerogative to keep them. I think the snooping part.
She said that she would delete them and then she didn't.
She said,
and
yeah,
then
sure. She said, yeah, sure. And he even said in a flippanty kind of like jokey way, like she kind of was like, yeah, sure, I'll delete them. Probably thinking he was kidding, because I can't imagine that he said to her, this makes me feel really insecure and I'm not sure why, and my vulnerability is coming up and blah blah blah. And so I wonder like how that conversation actually went.
My only thing is that she did notice that they on her own.
Yeah, but also they were in a 6-month relationship at the time. 6 months in. You're 6 months into someone, like maybe she's
pregnant.
Some people do not care about that. And at that point, she was what, 3 weeks pregnant? 6 weeks pregnant, right? Like, we don't know. She doesn't know like what the future holds. And so like, I think now that they're in a year-long relationship and they're planning on having this child together, I think you can revisit it and be like, hey, can we talk about that? Can we talk about why you didn't delete those? Like, I still feel confused. And I know that I went in and I know that was like trespassing, and I know, or whatever you want to call it, like, or what lack of trust, but like, can we talk about why you didn't? Because I want to clear the table. I think if the goal
you think she kept him on her phone because she didn't think she was in a committed relationship at the time.
I think maybe she was just like, I don't know, like, who knows what's gonna happen? Like, this has been my life for 15 years or 20 years, and like, I think it's funny, and like, I have this. I think too, when you're single for a really long time, like, you are not looking for other people's needs first, right? You're looking for your own needs first. And like,
you get like used to being selfish.
Yeah. Or like used to having it easy to just do what you want to do. I don't even know if that's selfish as much as it's just like, this is how my life's always been. Like, right, so I'm going to do it. So I don't know. I don't know that I want to call him an asshole for deleting them, but I don't love the going into her phone and like doing this thing. I think he could have gone into her phone and been like, yo, bro, sorry, very weird. Why do you still have a ton of dicks on your phone? I thought we talked about this. And like, see what she said. Yeah. But I think just like straight deleting them but then I also think it's silly for her to like come up
be like, why'd you delete
all the dicks off my phone? It's like, because I fucking asked you to. So I kind of get both sides of it. I don't know.
Because I also think he like deleted them. And then she came at him and was like, why'd you delete all my shit? And it's like, instead of being like, hey, you told me that you wanted me to delete those. I didn't think you were serious. And now they're gone. And so I don't appreciate you going through my phone. That's fucking shit.
Yeah. A, don't go through my phone. B, I didn't realize this was such a big fucking deal to you.
I would have done it.
I would have done it had I known that it was a really big deal. Like, I think there's a lot of context, unfortunately, that we're missing. Like, there's been times in my relationship where like I've said to Phil, like, whatever the thing is, like, hey, I'd really love it if you put the dishes away. And he was like, okay, cool. And in my head, I went, if you don't put the dishes away, I'm going to come home and my brain's going to be in chaos and I'm going to lose my mind and I'm going to take an axe to the wall. Please do this one thing for me. And he heard me say like, hey, whenever you get a chance, do the dishes, if you don't mind.
If not, no worries.
Correct. And then I come home the next day and the dishes aren't done and I lose my mind. And he's like, what are
I
you
thought it
talking
was
I
no
thought
problem,
it
no
was no big
worries.
deal. I didn't know that this was such a problem. And so like I think that there is, you know, context that has to be given about like how people come off when they're saying something. I think like what you're saying, how you're saying it. So I don't know that I want to call them an asshole for the whole thing. I'm gonna give them each like a little bit of
When everything
assholishness.
sucks, everyone sucks here.
Yeah, but like not even everyone sucks. I just think that I think it's is there a thing that you can put for like miscommunication? That's what I feel like it actually is. It's like, oh no, get a therapist.
I feel like, yeah, there's
What do you
definitely.
think? Do I have to pick a side?
So I think she shouldn't have that. I think if you think you're in a committed relationship, you shouldn't have shit from other dudes on your phone.
Totally agree with that. But we don't know if she thought she was in a committed relationship.
But I guess my initial thought was like, you're an asshole, you shouldn't have that shit on your phone.
Okay.
But I guess you're right, because I guess to some people 6 months in isn't a committed relationship.
And again, it could be. I'm not saying that you're wrong. You could be 100% correct, and she's just a dumb fuck. But like,
Yeah.
we don't know enough to be able to like make 100% of a decision. So I guess I'm just gonna have to say,
I just feel like
everyone's
so for instance, when I started dating Rich, so we met on Match, right?
Mhm.
So it's like online dating. I'm sure, but I'm sure like so it's like a thing. If you meet online dating, it's like once you kind of like decide like, oh, we're going to like delete our online dating profiles, and that's
Correct.
like a thing. And like that's kind of like a big step if you're doing that, because that's like annoying to set up and this and that and the other. So I think if you're going to be like, oh, we're in a relationship, oh, I'm not going to have my online dating profile.
Fair. Totally fair.
I feel like another step in that is, oh, I'm not going to keep other dudes like dick pics on my phone.
Yeah, genitalia.
Because like,
a folder.
You can just go on the internet and find anything you want.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah.
So like, you don't need that on your phone.
No, you don't. You don't have to have it. It might be fun, or it might be funny, or this person might be like, this person might be the worst, and maybe she's a crazy blackmailer and like is blackmailing 7 guys right now, and she's like, I can't get rid of it because every 6 months I send them their dick pic and say I'm gonna send it to their mother, and they send me $1,000. Maybe she's like the first starter of OnlyFans or something. I don't know. You know?
Okay. But I also have a big problem going through somebody else's phone. Yeah. I think that's like, I think if I found out Rich went through my phone, that would be like a hard stop for me.
In a way that's like, I'm looking, because I think too, the thing that you have to remember is like, I forget what the phrase is, but it's just like, it's kind of like you fuck around and find out. Like, what do you want? What are you trying to find out? Because you're gonna find out something, and it's probably not gonna be what you like or what you want.
Like, why are you snooping in there? If you're willing to go snooping through somebody's phone, you better be like prepared for what you might find.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you could find something terrible, and you could find something. And I think too, like, then are you disappointed when you don't find something terrible, or are you just, I don't know. I feel like
if you don't find anything at all and you found out those photos were gone, then you just look like a fucking asshole.
Right. Then you have to be like,
then you went through her phone and you're like, oh, I'm shitty.
Yeah. Right. And then
she listened to me. She got rid of him.
She listened to me, and trust me, I'm so glad that I'm in a good relationship and I'm the bad person.
But actually, it turns out I suck.
Yeah.
Like, you're always going to have something bad about going through somebody's phone. Either you're going to find something you don't like, or you're going to feel like a fucking idiot.
Well, I hope that they can get this figured out though before they have a kid, because like that is not.
Turns out it's probably not going to get better.
I know. What did Reddit have to say?
You put a kid in her after 6 months, you belong in an asylum.
Oh my God.
That was a perfectly Reddit response.
That was tough.
Dump her for God's sake. What if OP has videos of himself eating his... Oh God, I can't read this out loud.
Read it. Do it. Pretend you're me.
And she's pregnant. Y'all are doomed.
No, read the
sentence. You got her pregnant. You poor man. I already scrolled.
Oh,
a lot of people are just very bummed she's pregnant.
All right.
Dump her immediately. No one wants a girl who keeps photos of her ex. Everyone sucks here. She has nudes of her exes. Whoop-de-doo. People have their pasts that they remember fondly. Sexual fantasies don't end just because you commit to someone new. However, she shouldn't have hidden it. She shouldn't have lied.
Yes.
But also you shouldn't have gone through her shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
You took her decision away to delete the photos. That get over your insecurities. These are old relationships that don't impact your current one. No, it's not normal to have your exes on your camera roll. I'd be getting a paternity test.
Oof, oh my god.
It's not going over well for her.
All right,
I think that's a little unfair.
I think it's a little unfair too.
I do think,
again, I think we're missing context. But if you're going solely off of his story, like we are in this relationship, we got pregnant, I asked her kindly to do this thing, she didn't do it, so I snooped.
Yeah.
Then no, he's not the asshole and she is. Like then no. But I think that we're missing a ton of context, and I think that they're both kind of sucky. And I just, I wish this new baby the best.
I'm saying he's the asshole because I don't think that he should have snooped through her phone.
Yep.
And I don't think he should have deleted shit without asking her.
I think he could have.
I think he could have gone through. Okay, if he's gonna be like, I gotta go through her phone, gotta see if they're there, and you see him there, I think then you can go to her and be like, I looked at your phone.
Yeah.
I asked you to delete those photos. They're still there.
Yeah.
What's up?
Sorry, I looked through your phone. I know that's shitty. Come at me with whatever response you want with that, and let's talk about my own.
But I asked you.
But also, I asked you to delete all these penises, and you didn't. What's the deal? Why don't you want to delete these?
And then that opens it up for being like, I feel insecure about this. I know that's crazy, but it makes me feel bad. So if you care about me, could you please do this for me? And then
100.
And then that would give her the opportunity to be like, fine, I'll do it right now.
I mean, I feel like whenever me and you are on this, I always come back to like, I don't know, just communicate with your partner. Like just try to
talk to them.
Tell them about your feelings.
Because I do think that there's something about deleting them.
Yeah, that's tough.
Without saying anything. That's really shitty.
Yeah. Now, if it's an iPhone, did he go into the recently deleted and permanently delete them, or could they still be in the recently deleted folder?
Well, we know about that. She asked a few weeks later. She asked if I went into her phone. So don't they permanently delete
30
after
days? 30 days.
Yeah,
you get 30 days. So
cutting it close.
Interesting. Oh, well, those are fun. I liked both of those. Those are good.
So thanks to the Voices of Wrestling community for sending those along.
Yeah.
They just wanted us to hear us talk about dick pics for a half hour.
Wanted us to say dick all over and over and over again. So here you guys go. Here's your soundbite.
There you go. Dicks.
Dicks.
The media's gonna go crazy for that one.
Can you at the beginning of your pod from now on, can you do a soundbite from each episode? And can that be like the little way in is just like me and you both going dick.
That's what they do on the This Is Important podcast. They find like some wild quote.
Yeah. Or like there's a podcast called like Here to Help with Jake Johnson and Gareth Reynolds, and they are so funny, and they always start with like some weird soundbite, and I just think it'd be really funny if that was our weird soundbite.
Yeah, that'd be good. This would be a good time to start that too. I'll have to talk to my editor, Rich.
Rich,
come here. Dick pics.
We're so dumb.
Well, at least we entertain ourselves. I don't know if anybody else is entertained, but I'm entertained. So
I know, me too. Well, we because I think we're probably going to be wrapping this sucker up soon. I'm going to be trying to come on more of these. I think whenever I think I'm going to weekly tell Michelle, let's do a Am I the Asshole pod.
So everyone else might get more content because Tracey's going to force me into it.
Yeah. But we're also going to hopefully get back up and running on our Deep Derailments pod. We took a little post holiday break. We kind of like went through the holidays and then we're a little burnt out, so hopefully we're gonna jump back on there with some more Gypsy Rose and some interesting tales and ideas and things. So head over there, listen to like episodes 7 to 13 or whatever it is.
Whenever the audio gets better,
whenever the audio gets good, start listening to that.
It's like episode 5 or 6, maybe.
Yeah, if you want to get more of this kind of nightmare banter that you've heard here. That's pretty much all that it is. So
we talk less about dicks, but more about bibbing.
But we also could be talked into dicks. So listen, learn, love dicks.
Yay!
That's the soundbite right there.
Or Deep Derailments.
Or
and
Deep
this
Derailments.
podcast. So
absolutely.
Well, I hope we made the community happy using their
Reddit, their suggestions. Yeah. Thanks for having me back on, pal.
Yeah, no worries. Rich Creech will be very sad to know that you've probably definitely taken his place, but he'll get here again. It'll be fine.
Listen, honestly, we can have, a 3-person pod. I think we could one day get my husband down here because he will have strong opinions about.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good one.
That'd be kind of fun to hear his opinions on things. I think
like
people would enjoy his take.
Opinions.
We can have a husband's takeover.
Oh, that'd be good.
Fun. Yeah. All right. Let us know on the what's the wrestling place called?
I think they talk on Discord.
No, We Love Wrestling.
Oh, Voices of Wrestling.
We're Voices of Wrestling. I was like, what's
called?
Wrestling. I Love Wrestling.
On the I Love Wrestling Discord.
Yeah. Let us know if you'd be into people who aren't me and Michelle talking, because I think you would, unfortunately.
They're rolling in their graves right now.
I know. All right.
Cool. Well, thanks for everybody. Have a good night. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.